Most people never change, not because they can't, but because their attention span is too short to learn what could transform their life. If you followed our journey in building a strong emotional intelligence, you're already different. Welcome back. You made it to the final episode. Most people quit before the finish line, but not you. If you missed any part of this journey, go back and claim what's yours. It's worth reviewing all the other audio series we've published on this channel. Today, we're not just talking about emotional intelligence, we're talking about legacy. About rising above the noise and becoming the observer of your own mind. That's how you step into a higher level of consciousness. That's how you leave your mark. Most people scroll past the very lessons that could save their relationships, heal their emotional wounds, and elevate their entire lives. Short attention spans rob you blind. They steal your future before you even realize it. They steal your growth, your clarity, your identity. But you're still here. You refuse to be distracted. You chose to stay in the arena. And that means you're different. That means you're hungry for more. Because emotional intelligence isn't just something you do. It's who you become. It's the standard you set for yourself. It's how you walk into a room, how you respond under pressure, how you lead yourself when no one is watching, and how you treat people when you're tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. It's the emotional fingerprint you leave on the world. EQ is identity. EQ is legacy. Today, we're unlocking the version of you that rises when you lead yourself emotionally. The version that refuses to settle. The version that leaves a mark in the legacy you leave behind when you do. Identity, the emotional version of you. Let's cut through the noise. Let's get real. Most people spend their whole lives on autopilot, just reacting. Reacting to stress, to triggers, to fear, to pressure, to every demand the world throws at them. They don't choose who they are. Their emotions do it for them. But emotionally intelligent people? They play a different game. They don't wait for life to calm down. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait for motivation. They take the lead. They drive their own lives. They choose how they show up, respond, speak, think, love, lead, handle pressure, and treat people. Identity is not what you say. Identity is built in your habits. It's what you do, day in and day out. Emotional intelligence is the foundation. It's what keeps you steady, no matter what. The 3 identities you outgrow. When EQ becomes your identity, you outgrow 3 emotional versions of yourself. 1. The reactive self, the version of you that snaps, shuts down, or spirals. The version that lets emotions run the show. 2. The survival self, the version of you that's always overwhelmed, overstimulated, and overcommit. The version that's constantly trying to hold it together. 3. The approval-seeking self, the version that sacrifices peace to keep the peace. The version that abandons itself to avoid conflict. When you step up and lead yourself emotionally, those old identities drop off. They can't survive your growth. You become someone new. Grounded. Intentional. Unshakable. Emotionally powerful. Who you become when EQ becomes your identity. When emotional intelligence becomes who you are, not just what you practice, you become. The calm one, not because life got easier. Because you got stronger, and you mastered your inner world. You become the clear one, you see situations for what they are, not through the lens of fear, ego, or insecurity. You become the steady one, you don't get pulled into chaos. You don't absorb other people's storms. You don't lose yourself in pressure. You become the leader, not because of a title. Because of your presence, people trust you, feel safe around you, and follow your energy. You become the healed one, you stop repeating emotional patterns. You stop reacting to old wounds. You stop carrying emotions that aren't yours. You become the legacy builder, your emotional intelligence becomes a gift to your family, relationships, workplace, community, and future. This is who you become when emotional intelligence isn't just something you practice, but who you are. Legacy, what you leave behind. Legacy isn't money. It isn't a status. It's not even accomplishments. Legacy is the emotional impact you leave behind. It's how people remember you and how people feel around you. It's the emotional environment you build in your home, at work, and in your relationships. Your legacy is the calm you brought to chaos, the clarity you brought to confusion, the compassion you brought to conflict, the strength you brought to struggle, and the peace you brought to pressure. Your legacy is the emotional standard you set and live by. And here's the truth. You don't leave a legacy someday. You're building your legacy right now. Every day. Every interaction. Every moment. The question is, what kind of legacy are you building? The final shift, EQ as a lifestyle. Emotional intelligence is not a chapter you finish. It's a lifestyle you embody. It's in the pause before you respond. The breath you take before you react. It's the boundary you set. The emotion you name. The trigger you understand. The compassion you choose. The peace you protect. The identity you step into. EQ is not something you do. It's someone you become. And once you become this version of yourself, there's no turning back. If you made it to chapter 10, you're not average. You're not distracted. You're not running from growth. You're the kind of person who finishes what they start. And you're building emotional intelligence not as a skill, but as your identity. Share this chapter with someone who's ready to rise. Click the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And join this movement of emotionally intelligent leaders and peacemakers. You're not just learning EQ, you're becoming someone the world desperately needs. This is your identity. This is your legacy. And this is just the beginning. Thank you for following this audio series. If you made it to the end, you're not just listening, you're transforming. And I'd be honored to walk with you into the next chapter of your growth. I've published Understanding Dementia, a deep dive into ADHD, and the pursuit of longevity, each one written from the perspective of someone who has lived these challenges personally. Not just academically. Not just clinically. But as someone who has seen the struggle, felt the weight, and understands what real people need. These books are straight talk. Real stories. Real solutions. Real life. If this series opened something in you, the next journey is waiting.